Is your vehicle in need of a quick oil change or tune-up before hitting the road this summer? Stop by Quick Lube and Tune, the home of the good guys at 610 South Wenatchee Avenue.
It's time for NCW Life News on the NCW Life channel. The latest from the Wenatchee Valley and North Central Washington with Steve Hare, Grant Olson, and sports with Eric Granstrom.
Good evening and welcome to NCW Life News. I'm Grant Olson. Before we get to today's top stories, let's take a quick look outside our weather window, and what a gorgeous day around North Central Washington today. Hardly a glimmer of smoke out there in our skies, just blue sky, lots of sunshine, a few high clouds out there. Temperatures in the mid to upper 70s, but all in all, a fantastic day. And as we move ahead into our weekend weather, things look very nice as well. Boy, Saturday should be beautiful. Friday night, winds will go down. Temperatures will be a little bit cooler than normal for the weekend. We could even see some patchy frost or even freezing temperatures in the higher elevations of North Central Washington. We'll talk much more about your weather coming up a little bit later on. And now a few of the stories we're following for you tonight. A visiting judge accepts Don Soul's plea deal in the 1982 Kashmir cold case. A road rage-related accident results in one man being airlifted to Central Washington Hospital, and we'll have another piece on the dedication of a stage to Wilf Woods at the Numerica PAC this Friday. Later on, we'll have sports, your weather forecast, and our features story today. But first, a high-speed crash this morning in Wenatchee sent one man to the hospital and closed a busy road for over 3 hours. Wenatchee Police Department Sergeant Tim Licken explains what happened.
Officers arrived and saw a 2008 Chevy Impala driven by a 21-year-old Wenatchee resident had been involved in an accident with a 2013 Dodge Avenger driven by a 33-year-old Wenatchee resident. Upon investigation, it appears that the Chevy Impala had been driving at a excessive rate of speed, and prior to the collision, witnesses said he had been driving recklessly, struck the 2013 Dodge Avenger as it attempted to cross Mission Street on Spokane from the east side to the west side. The driver of the Avenger was transported by the ambulance crew to the Central Washington Hospital emergency room and treated, where he was admitted with possibly 4 broken ribs and also some other internal injuries. The driver of the Chevy Impala was arrested on scene for suspicion of vehicular assault and then requested to be taken to the hospital, where an officer transported him to the hospital, where he was checked and released, and then booked into the Chelan County Regional Jail for suspicion of vehicular assault. The driver of the Avenger was also suspended first and possibly under the influence of alcohol, and a search warrant was executed on him. His blood was drawn and results will be pending.
The injured driver of the Dodge Avenger has been identified as 21-year-old Jonathan Fleming Goforth, who was issued a citation for suspicion of driving while intoxicated and driving while his driver's license was suspended or revoked, first degree. The driver of the Chevy Impala has not been identified, pending additional charges. Licken also adds that the driver of that Impala was traveling at speeds between 50 and 70 miles an hour. A visiting Snohomish County judge accepted a woman's guilty plea in exchange for a guaranteed 5-year prison term. According to the Wenatchee World, Dawn Marie Souls, who testified against her former husband in a cold case murder, entered her plea and is scheduled for sentencing on October 2nd. As part of the plea deal, Souls testified on September 1st in the trial of Bernard Swaim, saying that he ordered her to wait in a closed bedroom while he killed her ex-husband Stephen E. Smith of Kashmir back in 1982. The jury found Swaim not guilty on September 6th after 2 hours of deliberation. Under law, the plea agreement specifies that Souls must be sentenced to 5 years, which is the maximum allowable for the criminal assistance charge. Road rage was the cause of an accident on I-90 5 miles west of George Tuesday that resulted in one man being airlifted to Central Washington Hospital. The accident occurred when a 2006 Jeep Cherokee, driven by 41-year-old Michael Blodgett of Poulsbo, became involved in a road rage incident with a 1996 Peterbilt truck that was driven by 55-year-old Larry Amell of Ording. The two vehicles both exited I-90 onto exit 143 when the truck stopped in the middle of the road, causing the Jeep to lock its brakes. Blodgett then got out of his vehicle and attempted to hit the passenger mirror of the truck when he became lodged between the truck's trailer and his Jeep as the truck continued to move. Blodgett was then dragged a short distance down the exit before Amell stopped his truck. The official cause of the accident and possible charges are still under investigation. The New America Performing Arts Center will unveil the Wilfred R. Woods stage on Friday, commemorating the legacy of Wilfred Woods. The event will include a ribbon-cutting ceremony at 7:30 p.m. right before the season kickoff show, Impact. Executive Director Matt Cadman explains the relationship he had with Wilf and the connection to the pack.
And we are here for a very special occasion, and that is the dedication of the theater to our dear, dear friend and patron, Wilfred R. Woods. I don't think there's anyone in the Valley who doesn't know who Mr. Woods was. He liked to be called Wilf, not Wilfred, not Mr. Woods, Wilf. So for the purpose of this interview, I'll call him Wilf, although he was always Mr. Woods to me. This place would not have been built, certainly wouldn't still be alive if it had not been for the spirit and the efforts and the hard work and the blood, sweat, and cheers of Wilf. I call this the house that Wilf built. It'll be a treasure. It will just be one of the great moments of my life to be able to dedicate the theater to Wilf on Friday. And I hope that everybody out there comes to the show, revels in this legacy, and helps us bring on the Wilfred R. Woods Theater in the way it should be, which is with a giant celebration. That's the only way Wilf would do it. And frankly, if he were here, he would be trying to, no, because he was not that kind of guy at all. So that makes it even more fun to do.
The dedication was announced by the New America PAC Board during the celebration of life for Woods back on March 12th. Coming up, we'll take a look at new fire recruits in training with Chelan County Fire District 1 in partnership with Wenatchee Valley College. A new real estate snapshot shows higher median home prices, and the Port of Chelan County discusses its draft strategic plan with residents. I'm Grant Olson, and you're watching NCW Life News.
Having a relationship with your pediatrician is so important. Feeling that sense of trust, that is priceless. I tell everybody about CVCH. I love it there. When I make an appointment, I don't have to take an entire day off. As a working mom, my life is really busy. Family time is everything. That's what we all work towards. And I feel like CVCH respects that.
Stormy Mountain Brewing and local public house, featuring great family dining in downtown Chelan. We've got burgers, pub fare, and the best barbecue around. Try one of our award-winning sauces made fresh here in-house. So grab the whole gang and come on down. Stormy Mountain Brewing. Beer, barbecue, friends, and beer.
In the quiet boulders and cheatgrass on the outskirts of Malaga, there's a small group of young men who are training to be firefighters. Al Torres is a captain with Chelan County Fire District 1 and leads the Fire Academy.
We are in Malaga at our Station 17, and this is our training station for our current recruit academy. We have currently 7 students that are going through the fire science program, and with that they are going through our fire academy, where they are going to be, if they go through this academy, they will be joining our crew, getting on shift and working side by side with our career firefighters. Wenatchee Valley College offers a fire science program, and anyone can take that fire science program. We just happen to work with students that are interested in the program. We give them an opportunity to be a resident with our fire department. And with that, they are attending classes at the college. They get an education with the college, and working here with us, going through this academy and working for 2 years, they obtain some valuable training and experience that's going to help them get a career as a firefighter. It's a pretty challenging career, It's a very challenging position to get into, job to get into. So the more education and the more experience you have, the better it is. And these kids are getting that. They're getting an education, and they're coming out of here with certificates that are going to look good when they go to apply for a firefighter's position. This is our second year that we've done a full 13-week academy for the students that are going through the college class. We run this kind of like a paramilitary academy, so there's PT, there is drill. They do need to learn how to take care of themselves. There's inspections, and all of that is for, we do it all for a reason, you know, attention to detail. We want them to look good. They represent our department, and we teach them first, right off the bat, that they're a public servant and that they work for the public. So we want them to be presentable to the public, and it starts with the way they look. So the first week we kind of went over uniforms, how they're supposed to look. They're polishing boots. They're learning how to march and take care of their rooms. And a lot of times, you know, kids nowadays, they're not used to that. And I call them kids. These guys are pretty much right out of high school.
The cadets are in their second week of 13 weeks of training and are scheduled to graduate just after Thanksgiving. We'll have more on their story as the weeks progress. Pacific Appraisal Associates have released their monthly real estate snapshot for the Wenatchee Valley, and the trend once again is higher median home prices. The single-family median home price for August was $289,900. That's up 1% from July's average price of $287,250 and up a whopping 8% compared to August of 2016. The year-to-date median sales price over the past 5 years has risen 35% since August of 2013, when the average price of a house was $214,950. The bright spot on the Pacific Appraisal Report is that 28 building permits have been requested for much-needed apartment units in the area. That compares to 0 requests in August of 2016. The monthly real estate snapshot consists of markets in Wenatchee, East Wenatchee, Malaga, Rock Island, and Orondo. The Board of Commissioners of the Port of Chelan County concluded their third special session today in Leavenworth as a chance for Chelan County residents to review and discuss the Port's draft strategic plan. At a public meeting last night at Pybus Market, the Port outlined its 3 major core lines of business, which include economic development, commercial and industrial real estate, and Pangbourne Memorial Airport. Pangbourne continues to be a focal point of the Port. The strategic plan calls for modernizing the airport's facilities and increasing the amount of flights to and from the airport and increase destination selections. Alaska Airlines says flights to Wenatchee are currently at 85% occupancy. Port commissioners said they get requests for new businesses almost weekly, but in the current Wenatchee real estate market, there isn't enough property to accommodate those requests. The Port of Chelan County currently owns 75 acres of land and hopes to increase that number over the course of the 8-year strategic plan. You're watching NCW Life News. Coming up next, your sports update, followed by today's feature story. That and much more still to come on NCW Life News. Stay with us.
Every golfer aims to play their best, and smart golfers turn to the Golfer's Edge to get the Golfer's Edge. PGA professional Ed Payne has you covered from tee to green. You can work on your swing or play 18 in air-conditioned comfort on the golf simulator. Tanya's Corner has all the apparel the golfer needs at sale prices. And Ed can even rebuild your favorite set of clubs or custom make you a brand new set. Ask how you can qualify for a free 30-minute lesson at the Golfer's Edge on Mission between Kittitas and Yakima.
Is this really what we're gonna do on our girls' night out?
We should go to Club Crow. The bar and grill in Kashmir?
Yeah, let's go.
Looking for a fun-filled, friendly hometown atmosphere? Club Crow Bar and Grill in Kashmir is the place to be. Hi, this is Justin. Here at Club Crow, we have full bar and restaurant, live music, a dance floor, pool tables, pull tabs, and live jam sessions the first Sunday of every month. Club Crow in Kashmir, the coolest place in town.
And now it's a sports update on the NCW Life channel.
And a good Thursday. It has been a different day today around the broadcast Metroplex as we take a look at the prep sports schedule for today. That also has been kind of interesting. Eastmont at Mount Spokane had to be postponed. That'll be played tomorrow instead. Soccer, Cascades at Ellensburg, Manson at Chelan, and Freda hosting Cashmere. And there was a change also for the Wenatchee game tonight. It was supposed to be in Eisenhower in Yakima, but they moved it up here because the smoke down there is pretty bad. Meanwhile, tonight here on the NCW Life Channel, we'll have Davis and Eastmont's Sebastian Moraga and Matt Wisen with all your play-by-play right here with the pregame at 6:50. Also in volleyball tonight, Moses Lake Christian hosting Entiat. Omak's on the road at Manson. Waterville's in Tonasket. Eisenhower at Eisenhower at Wenatchee tonight, while Davis is hosting Eastmont. Well, the Mariners broke open a scoreless game with a 3-run fifth inning behind the power of Mike Zunino's solo home run and Gene Segura's 2-run shot, as Seattle went on for an 8-1 victory over Texas. Zunino would add another solo homer in a 5-run seventh as he continues to hit the ball well, much to the smiles of his manager, Scott Surface.
The key for us tonight was certainly, Leak getting us deep in the game. Perez was throwing the ball outstanding, and he's been one of the hottest pitchers in the league here over the last 6-7 starts. So we knew it was going to be tight, and we pitched right with him, and then until we got a couple big hits, and then we'll talk about Mike Zunino. Wow, great night for Z. Killed the ball on the upper deck, hit another ball to right center. We needed it. We needed to get something going, but Z stepped up. Big home run by Segura. Loved the single that Seager flipped out there to left field. That's winning baseball. Just take what they give you. We needed a big knock there, and he came through.
Kyle Seager also delivered a 2-run bases-loaded single in the 7th to keep the inning going. Mitch Haniger collected a couple of hits, including a double, and Segura also added a single to his 2-run home run. On the mound, Mike Leake went 5 2/3, allowing 1 run on 5 hits and striking out 5 to earn the victory.
He really is. He's got big-time power. You see him batting practice every day. The thing that's nice, though, is he's not trying to hit home runs. He's just trying to make the contact, just square it up. And, curveball was down. It's not typically a pitch you see, get hammered like that. But, Mike's a good low ball hitter, put a good swing on it. He's in a really good spot right now. And just, keep him right there, hopefully, through the remainder of the season.
Seattle and Texas wrap up the 4-game series with Felix Hernandez getting back on the mound after being on the DL for 10 days. Well, actually, it was early August when he went on. He's making his 14th start of the season against the Rangers' Andrew Kashner. In the wild card race last night, New York topped Tampa Bay 3-2 to remain 3 games in front. Baltimore edged Toronto 2-1 and is 4.5 back. Minnesota got a walk-off homer in the 10th, down San Diego 3-1. And they're 2 games in front of L.A., who beat Houston 9-1. The Mariners, with the win last night, remain 3.5 games out in that chase for the wild card. So there you have it. The Yankees in front at 79-66. It just seems the Yankees continue to find ways to get victories. And speaking of getting victories, how about the Cleveland Indians? They broke the American League record last night with a win over Detroit. It was actually yesterday morning. But Cleveland now 21 games in a row they have won to snap the old American League record, and now they'll try to go for the Major League record. We'll see if the Tribe is able to do that. Again, we have soccer on the broadcast tonight with Davis and Eastmont. Sebastian Moraga and Matt Wisen have all your play-by-play tonight, 7 o'clock right here on the NCW Life Channel. This will be our final Thursday that's not hockey. We get back to our hockey Thursday nights next Thursday as the Wild will broadcast the game from this Saturday right here on the NCW Life Channel. That's a look at sports news. I'm Eric Grandstrom. Grant, back to you.
Thank you, Eric. Our feature story today is from the Governor's Salmon Recovery Office, which sheds light on the salmon hatchery issue here in our state.
Between 50 and 90% of the fish that are caught almost anywhere in the Northwest are hatchery produced.
Hatcheries right now maintain our way of life. Without hatcheries, there's virtually no opportunity to harvest.
Hatcheries are important for just maintaining the quality of life that we have in the Pacific Northwest. Not only do hatcheries provide great salmon to our dinner tables and to our restaurants, and they help preserve a culturally important and iconic species, but they're absolutely vital for balancing the other benefits that we try to get out of our streams and rivers and shorelines.
If we're serious about having thriving hatchery fisheries and healthy wild fish populations, then we need to implement effective habitat protection and restoration, and we need excellent fisheries and hatchery management.
What's exciting about salmon is when you work in the hatchery, you're producing a live product and you're releasing that live product, and you see the fruits of your labor when those fish return to the hatchery and into the fishery and provide benefit to all the citizens of the state of Washington.
We'll be back in just a moment with the recap of some of today's stories and your complete local weather forecast right after this.
Lake Chelan mailboxes find solutions and the best price for all your shipping needs, including UPS, FedEx, and the U.S. Postal Service. We offer a variety of services including quality copies of all sizes, faxing, scanning, sending and receiving email, laminating, and notarizing. Enjoy browsing through our large selection of greeting cards. Lake Chelan mailboxes supports our military, fire victims, and our community. Come see us at the Plaza in Lake Chelan.
Hey folks, Carrie from Blueberry Hills in Manson. It's blueberry picking season, and King 5 named us the second best destination restaurant in Washington State. So toss the family in the cruiser and get on out to Blueberry Hills for the best down-home scratch country cooking you've had in years. And don't forget our award-winning pies. We're fun, family-friendly, and a delicious destination year-round. We're open every day from 8 to 3, serving breakfast and lunch all day. So come on out to Blueberry Hills.
And now a recap of our top stories. A high-speed crash this morning in Wenatchee sent one man to the hospital and closed a busy road for over 3 hours. Wenatchee Police Department Sergeant Tim Licken explains what happened.
Officers arrived and saw a 2008 Chevy Impala driven by a 21-year-old Wenatchee resident. Had been involved in an accident with a 2013 Dodge Avenger driven by a 33-year-old Wenatchee resident. Upon investigation, it appears that the Chevy Impala had been driving at an excessive rate of speed, and prior to the collision, witnesses said he had been driving recklessly, struck the 2013 Dodge Avenger as it attempted to cross Mission Street on Spokane from the east side to the west side. The driver of the Avenger was transported by the ambulance crew to the Central Washington Hospital emergency room and treated, where he was admitted with possibly 4 broken ribs and also some other internal injuries. The driver of the Chevy Impala was arrested on scene for suspicion of vehicular assault and then requested to be taken to the hospital, where an officer transported him to the hospital where he was checked and released, and then booked into the Chelan County Regional Jail for suspicion of vehicular assault. The driver of the Avenger was also suspended first and possibly under the influence of alcohol, and a search warrant was executed on him. His blood was drawn and results will be pending.
The driver of the Dodge Avenger has been identified as 21-year-old Jonathan Fleming Goforth, who was issued a citation for suspicion of driving while intoxicated and driving while his driver's license was suspended or revoked first degree. The driver of the Chevy Impala has not been identified pending additional charges. And Sergeant Licken adds that the Chevy Impala was traveling at speeds between 50 and 70 miles an hour. A visiting Snohomish County judge accepted a woman's guilty plea in exchange for a guaranteed 5-year prison term. According to the Wenatchee World, Dawn Marie Souls, who testified against her former husband in a cold case murder, entered her plea and is scheduled for sentencing on October 2nd. As part of the plea deal, Souls testified on September 1st in the trial of Bernard Swaim, saying that he ordered her to wait in a closed bedroom while he killed her ex-husband Stephen E. Smith of Kashmir in 1982. The jury found Swaim not guilty on September 6th after 2 hours of deliberation. Under law, the plea agreement specifies that Souls must be sentenced to 5 years, which is the maximum allowable for the criminal assistance charge that she has pending. In an effort to bring awareness about suicide and depression, the 3rd annual Be the Light Walk will take to the Wenatchee High School track on Friday at 5 o'clock. Chelan County has one of the highest suicide rates in the state of Washington, that according to the Department of Health. The event is sponsored by Confluence Health and Columbia Valley Community Health. And now your weather forecast for north central Washington. But before we get to that, let's take another look out our beautiful weather window today. And boy, what a day with lots of blue sky and sunshine out there. Not much smoke to be found anywhere in north central Washington. As we look down at the Columbia River and the foothills of the Cascades, what a day with temperatures in the mid to upper 70s. And as we take a look at our satellite loop, an upper level trough of low pressure moved through our area today, bringing us cooler temperatures and a few clouds, as well as windy conditions in some locations. Winds will begin to relax overnight and clouds will slowly exit to the east through Friday. Weaker winds and less cloud cover for Friday night will set up the potential for some very chilly temperatures in some mountain locations. We're talking in the mid to upper 30s. On Saturday, the Pacific Northwest will be in between weather systems as a slow-moving area of low pressure will be pulling out of Wyoming and Montana during the day, which will allow our next strong storm system off the BC coast to move inland. But our weather looks very pleasant on Saturday with afternoon temperatures in the upper 60s to lower 70s with light winds and a good deal of sunshine. As we move ahead to Sunday, here's what it looks like. An early fall-like cold front will produce good rains for western Washington up to the Cascade Crest. Jolly Mountain and Norse Peak area fires will have high probabilities of around 1/4 to 1/2 inch of rain by Monday morning. Portions of Diamond Creek fire in northwest Okanagan County will have a good shot at least 1/10 of an inch of rain or more. Unfortunately, the east slopes of the Cascades, including right here in the Wenatchee area and the Columbia Basin, will likely be shadowed from most of the moisture, dropping our chance for rain on Sunday to around 30%. Next week, we can expect cool and showery weather as we usher in the first day of fall on Friday. Here's a look at that forecast now. Tonight we'll drop down to a cool overnight low of 52 degrees. Beautiful weather for both Friday and Saturday with temperatures in the mid-70s. Sunday, cloudy skies. That's when we could see the potential for some rain showers as we move into Sunday night. 48 our low temperature. And then look at the highs on Monday and Tuesday. Only in the mid to upper 60s. Lows in the mid-40s. And then as we move into the middle of next week, once again, a good chance for showers by Wednesday. High temperatures then at 70 degrees. And as we leave you tonight, have you ever wondered what it would be like to be behind the wheel of a race car at Wenatchee Valley's Super Oval? Here's your chance as we join driver Jake Woods during his race last Saturday night. And that's going to do it for our newscast tonight. For more on these stories and other news from around north central Washington, you can find us on Facebook or our website at ncwlife.com. And remember, if you see news happening, we'd like to hear from you. You can send us an email at news@ncwlife.com or give us a call at 888-6295. I'm Grant Olson. Thanks for joining us and have a great night.
This has been NCW Life News on the NCW Life channel. For more news, log on to ncwlife.com, like us on Facebook, and follow NCW Life channel on Twitter.
No matter what your age or ailment, when you wake up each day with a sense of purpose, life has meaning and joy.
Just wait a while, it'll get in the hole somewhere.
Helping you do this is our purpose. Highgate Senior Living, each day to the fullest.
The best thing about my life right now is me.